Salute my fellow readers. Today I will review and talk about Don Quixote, one of the greatest books ever written, the one of many that doesn't make you crazy or radical, but instead inspires you and gives you feelings that have been lost for a long time, just like Sam did to her main character. First of all, I would like to talk to a man who wrote the book and how his life was a big part of it. So without further ado, please say hello to Miguel de Cervantes. Señor Cervantes, where did you get the inspiration for your book?
¿Qué? ¿Qué dice? Yo no entiéndolo.
Put on the cap!
Señor Cervantes, where did you get the inspiration for your book?
It was my own life. You see, person's life is the greatest inspiration anyone can have. And not just mine. You need to look around you and feel it. Take advantage of every moment. Now, I'm not saying that the stories in the book happened to me. Some did. Behind every fantasy, there is a little truth. Chivalry books were very popular in my time. People were missing something. So I wanted to reflect that and make fun of it. My book is about that. About the daydreamers. Even if you end up being misunderstood, at least you have lived the life that is most fulfilling for you. And maybe at the end you will influence the others around you.
And how about the character of Sancho Panza? How do you explain him?
I don't need to. He does that for himself. He is a peasant and not very smart one. He hardly can read and he takes everything for granted. His biggest love is his wife and family. He is our reality, and as we go further into the book, we can see much of ourselves in him. In all, he is a little thing that keeps us real and grounded, in contrast to Alonso, who has lost that and has seen his world as dull and boring. I think many kids in your days are like that. I may say that modern world is full of Alonso Quijanas.
And before we finish, can you tell us what is your favorite part of the book?
I think it's the ending, not to spoil it for my readers, but in that moment of our lives we all need to face the truth, and at the end all we have is our memories. I believe that life is full of regrets, and they should be our only gifts, the only stories in our lives that matter.
Thank you, Señor Cervantes.
No, thank you.
Truly a great man. Many people do not know that, but his day of death is celebrated with that of William Shakespeare as the International Day of the Book, April 22nd. That's today. And now I will tell you something about the story of the book. Alonso Quijana is an old man who lives with his niece and loves to read books. His boring life was not so adventurous for him, so he does something about it. He becomes a knight-errant in the world when they are forgotten. He puts on the old rusty armor, takes his old horse and goes to seek the adventure. On his way, he makes an oath to a village girl he hardly knows to do his doing in her name, and takes some silly peasant to be his shield holder. His only problem is that the world has changed and no one needs heroes. There are no any monsters to fight or ladies in distress, so he uses his imagination to make them. But that method brings him more harm than good. The book has two parts, of which the first is more adventurous, while the second is more about the characters and realism. They are both funny and easy to understand. Now let's see some of the opinions from the Around the World Book Club.
Oh, I loved the book. It was great. Did you love it? There is nothing wrong with it. I don't know why we can't read them. It made me go out and do something I had no courage to do before. The world around me has suddenly become much better. I think I will tell people about it. They must know. Ah! Ah!
Mr. Nightingale has passed away, but he has left us a note. Let me read it to you. Dear reader, if you are reading this, it means I have finished the reading of Don Quixote. It took a lifetime, but it was worth it. I must say that I like the secondary characters in it a lot. They all reflect and deepen the story, and you sometimes wonder who is crazier. I feel tired now. I will go think about the book more. That was my Around the World Book Club. I hope more people will join us and we can all talk about the wonders of book reading. Now, I have read this book on 3 different languages and I have found the original language version the most satisfying. Even if I have read the short version, it did take me deeper in the experience and made me love it even more. That is the rule for every book. The original language version is the true one. The book is filled with great and memorable scenes. They all have different meanings with every person, and that is why reading is fun. To show the most famous one, I have hired 2 actors to act it. Now, my budget was very small, so I need to warn you that production of it reflects on that.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here with Heavy Hedgett and Bob Grant, the 2 most renowned actors stuntmen in the world, who specialize in reenacting some of the famous parts from classical books.
Good morning.
Good evening, everybody.
Today, these 2 will be reconstructing the most famous scene from the book Don Quixote, the one with the windmill and the giants.
Are you ready?
Not quite. As you can see, we could not find any real horses or a donkey, so we needed to find a suitable replacement.
Is that a wooden horse?
Yes, it is. If we use a real one, PETA will be all over our lists. This age is too dangerous.
Right, but I see that you, Bob, are using a real animal. And it's a pony.
That's correct, and we found him lost. He was looking for the way back home. He only agreed to do this once we told him it's gonna be on national television. So if somebody knows who he is, please help him find his home.
There's something else I have noticed. Your windmill is not a real one.
Yeah, we couldn't find any in this desert, so Bob drew it on that big one there.
But it's on the wall.
It is a risk. It is a risk I want to take. So if you and our audience would imagine it is a real one, I will imagine it is a big monster, and Bob will tell me that it is not.
You may die.
Only in your imagination. Sancho! Look there! A fortune smiles at us. I can see a giant, and I, Don Quixote, will engage in battle with him.
But master, where is it?
There, in front of us.
I can only see a windmill.
Sancho, you cannot see it because you have no experience in such business of adventure.
But master,
No, Sancho. If you are afraid, get down on your knees and pray, for I will fight him. Push me.
And now for my final thought. Like any other book, Don Quixote is loved or hated. It's too long or too short. For me, it is the greatest book ever written. It is the first modern novel and maybe the last one too. It stood the test of time and proven that there are still people in this world that cherish a good book. People should stop thinking about what sells and stop publishing books that have no point or purpose whatsoever. It makes us stupid. There's a line we can cross, but this time we went too far. So, as your own Sancho, I will tell you, please open your eyes and see that there are worlds that are much better to escape to and be someone else for a while. One of these worlds has been here for more than 400 years, and it just awaits you to come.